are Sint Maarten. You are Sint Maarten.
The URSM, the Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement, being a political movement, will be hosting a weekly radio program called You Are Sint Maarten, every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Radio Mix 94.7 FM. I myself, Dr. Messalina, the political leader of URSM, will be hosting this radio program in which current issues, actualities and general topics will be discussed with the people of Sint Maarten. So join us every Wednesday on Radio Mix 94.7 for our radio show You Are Sint Maarten.
You are Sint Maarten. You are Sint Maarten.
Dear people of Sint Maarten, good evening. Welcome to your radio program You Are Sint Maarten on Radio Mix 94.7 FM. I myself, Dr. Messalina, will be your host in this radio program. As you know, I'm the surgeon in Sint Maarten and also since October 2021, being 10-10-21, the political leader of the promising political movement called URSM, Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. If you pay close attention to the acronym being URSM, we decided to use these four letters URSM to call our radio program You Are Sint Maarten, being equivalent as the acronym URSM. And as you know, URSM stands for our promising political movement, Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. We are planning, of course, to contest the upcoming elections. And to be honest with you, as the leader of the URSM and my total group behind me, we are losing patience if we see how our country is moving actually without a clear-cut, significant direction, without any promise for the future, seeing that the people are getting demotivated, people are getting hopeless, people are actually in a exhaustion with their morals already because of the challenges and the crises that they're encountering to survive the daily activities of this country. So we cannot wait for the upcoming elections, and we realize also that the people are getting hopeless, and that makes that we hope that the elections for country Sint Maarten will be earlier than later. As I said, we are seriously busy informing the people of this country, preparing the mindset of the people of this country for the upcoming elections of country Sint Maarten. As you know, the URSM stands for putting the people and the country above self. That is one of the inspirations that I got and the people with me got when we started this URSM, is that we are realizing that the sitting government is completely disconnected of the people of this country, and the formula of putting the people above self is completely lost the way this country is heading at this particular moment. We firmly believe also that education is a significant pillar to stimulate the economy of Sint Maarten. People often think that it's the tourism that is the first main important pillar to stimulate the economy of the country. I do believe that there is one pillar before the economy, the tourism economy, and for me it's the education of the people of your country. If you have a well-educated populace in your country, you are in a condition to get a well-educated labor force. And with a great, well-educated labor force, you can push forward a young country as Sint Maarten that is approximately only 13 years a country as such. We believe also strongly in a sound balance between economic growth and a welfare society. We are presenting a weekly radio program, as you know, in which current topics, community developments, and community issues and other general matters concerning the people of Sint Maarten are discussed. Every week, for me, I have to tell you honest, it's not a big challenge for me to get a speaker as an invitee in my radio program, and it's not my radio program. I apologize for that. It's the radio program of the people of Sint Maarten. It's a radio program of the URSM, of the fans, the followers, those supporting the URSM. It's for whole Sint Maarten. It's just for us to make sure that we inform the people adequately so they will make the right decision once they're heading towards the voting day. Today, as I said, it was not a challenge for me to get another speaker here as an invitee in our radio program. And today I have a very interesting citizen of our country, and actually I think a very known person also, seeing his biography and his long professional time span that he has shared with the community of Sint Maarten. I think it will be a very nice person for us to have with us today in our radio program. And today I decided to invite Mr. Wendell Thode to be with us in our radio program. Mr. Wendell Thode, it was a long introduction, but I'm very happy and I'm very honored to have you in the radio program of the URSM, being UR Sint Maarten radio program. Mr. Wendell, welcome, and for me and for the URSM, it's a great honor to have you here as a invitee.
Thank you, Doc. And good afternoon to all the radio listeners from Sint Maarten. I am very honored and very pleased also to be invited by you, Doc, and your program to give an explanation. I know everybody in Sint Maarten, a lot of people in Sint Maarten knows me. They know me from my background, from the career, from my job, and so on.
Thank you, Wendell. Thank you for taking your time out to be with us.
It's a pleasure, Doc.
You're welcome. Fantastic. For me too, by the way. Wendell, the following. You have an interesting track record here in Sint Maarten, professionally wise, for sure. I know you because I've been working here for many years as a doctor since 1999. And I know you from that time already. And actually, I knew you initially as a police officer. Afterward, you had an interesting career record also in the justice in general. I would like you, Wendell, for the people to understand more who this Wendell Thode is. I would like you to just use your biography and just explain to people of Sint Maarten who this Wendell Thode is.
Yes, Doc. Okay, let me start. As you say, Doc, you have been here on Sint Maarten since 1999, if I'm not wrong. I've been on Sint Maarten since 1986.
Incredible.
1996, I've been living here on Sint Maarten. Mm-hmm. It was the 1st of February I started living in Sint Maarten. And I started here on Sint Maarten in another capacity, not in the capacity as a police officer, but I started in the capacity as a pilot. I had a career with Winair. I flew for a long time with Winair, and I was captain on the Twin Otter with Winair. After that, it started to be boring because the job as a pilot is very nice. But at the long run, it's becoming a little bit the same thing every day, that you have to do the same thing. So at that time, I was a police officer before that, so I decided to switch back, go back to my police job.
Nice.
And going back to the police job, I spent a long time by the detective department. And besides that, I was also being by the police force. I was also, they started with the helicopter project. I was on that helicopter project from the beginning till the end. And that was also a dream of mine, to be able to serve the island of Sint Maarten as a police officer and also as a pilot at the same time. That was getting the best out of two worlds, you can say. So after that, by the piloting, I went back to the police force because I decided to go back to the police force, and in the police force I was by the helicopter, and after the police force, I decided I was on land, I was in the air, so let me try the sea. So I applied for the Coast Guard, and I was by the Coast Guard. I served the Coast Guard for 3 years. Then I went back to the police force. And I have posted something on my Facebook some time ago, because since the longest time I had a dream, and I was dreaming of serving this island because I want the best for this island. I love this island. I have been living here for almost 40 years, if you count from 1986 till now. So I have a love for this island, and I want to see the best for this island. So I had see all the movements on the island from the political parties, and I saw that the Sint Maarten is a movement that I really have an eye on it, because it looks like a very good future for Sint Maarten.
Oh, thank you, Wendell. You know, Wendell, because what you said in your introduction, you love this country, and you want the best for this country, and actually, that was also our inspiration, seeing how this country is sliding away out of our fingers. That is also one of the incentives for us. From okay, let's try to get motivated people with a good heart, with a great commitment for the country, with a good love for the country, and see if we can hold hands together and try to present something to the people as an option for the upcoming elections. You know, Wendell, when I was speaking with you, also seeing how passionate you are about your country, I was very, very impressed with your passion, actually, how you were speaking about your commitment and the way you are working this community. And hopefully there will be an option for you to step up the plate. We discussed it carefully in the background already, and you have some time to think, but as you know, the enthusiasm is so enormous for this URSM, because we do really believe that this is going to be the alternative solution for the nearby future of Sint Maarten. So make sure that you are on top of your decision, because you are always welcome. And the URSM would like to have people with your mentality, with your heart, with your commitment and your passion for your country. URSM wants these people badly, because we do believe that these are the people that are lacking actively on the floor of the political arena, for us to try to be serious again with this country and try to make something great out of it.
Yes, Doc. I completely agree with you, and I first want to thank you for that, and I will really think hard on it.
Of course,
I will
you're
think hard on it.
Yeah. Wendell, let me just go back to the small introduction that you had about your career. You were in the detective department, and that it's about also seeing how you're going to tackle crime actions that are taking place in our community. You have been in the helicopter sector that has multiple tasks. It has also the task of prevention in the criminality atmosphere. It has its contribution in border control, I think. So then you was a police officer in the police force. And of course, you have always been you have been also in the Coast Guard. That has to do, of course, with
border control,
human smuggling, with drugs, combating. I mean, you have been there. Let's start, for example, Wendell, with what I was thinking of this weekend is our border control. I think, Wendell, we have for this country a big challenge. And I do believe that there is a task for the URSM to organize our border control in an efficient way that it's going to help contribute to make our country not only safe, but a balanced economy that is going to move forward in a way that the labor market is going to be well represented and transparent. It's going to help with our our redistribution of our professionals on the labor market. So there is a lot of things related to the border control of the country. Wendell, you thought long about it. You have been in it.
Yes.
Do you have some suggestions for the people of Sint Maarten about how can we move forward with this border control?
Yes, concerning the border control, Sint Maarten is a unique island.
Yes.
Saying that, I want to stress that Sint Maarten is a small island, but it's divided into two countries.
Yeah.
That's the point, So you have the Dutch side of the island and the French side. So first of all, for the border control to be a total success, the two countries have to be working 100% with each other.
Yes.
Not 50%, not 80%. It has to be 100% to have a total border control that's very effective.
Yeah.
Right now, we are doing our best. The French side is also doing its best, but I think everything can be better.
Yeah.
It can be better. So if we can better the relationship, then everything will go smoother than it is right now.
Yes. And you know, Wendell, what I think with this border control, it's not about that the control institution is not there, but it has to do with the insufficiency of the constant presence of the control towards the people. If we get a system that the community as such and internationally, we are known as a country that is very sharp in our border control, with a continuity in quality of border control, I think it's going to waken up our own people and also internationally others that have this intention to get to our country to think twice before doing something that is illegal.
Yes.
And I do believe, and that is what is one of my targets too, I hope that we will get in government, that we will have a more structured border control that gives a more continuous presence of control. And that is the way that I think we will have to move. And of course, there is a budget related to a effective border control. But I do believe that we will, one or the other way, will have to give this a priority. And you know why I tell you that, Mr. Today? Mm-hmm. We see that we have a lot of illegals in this country. I have nothing against illegals. I'm a party that starts with the U, from unification, unified, resilient. We are consisting of a country of 120 different nationalities. That is what makes Sint Maarten a great place, an example for the world, how people of 120 different nationalities can live peacefully on a small square together. Yes. Fantastic. But on the other side, Wendell, we have to be realistic, and I do believe that if we do not have an adequate border control for country Sint Maarten, we are going to continue with the imports of poverty, because the most people that come here illegally are those that are leaving their country because of the challenges, economic challenges, socio-economic status of their country. Nothing against that, Wendell, because every person, every humankind must have the opportunity to better his life.
Exactly.
But on the other side, for example, if tomorrow I become Prime Minister of this country, I will have to take the responsibility to safeguard a certain level of a socioeconomic status for the country. And if we do not have a control of our immigration, we're going to continue adding poverty on a daily basis to the country. And at a certain moment, you will get yourself in a disbalance that will be very, very difficult to pull straight back. That is what I think. I don't know what but I'm telling you, by giving you this explanation, I'm the last one to be against other foreigners. Of course not. We are the Sint Maarten of today because of the contribution of all different nations. That makes this country great, but on the other hand, we have to think, okay, We have to keep it in a balanced, sound system that everybody is going to get a qualitatively good life. If we all want to continue living with all those nationalities together, I think we will have to organize it. That's all. It's about organization.
Yes.
It's not about discrimination.
No,
it's about organization. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but that is how I feel it.
You hit the nail on the head, Doc. That's exactly how it is. I think that it just have to be, just like you said, it has to be balanced, and it has to be structured.
Yes.
It has to be structured. If it is structured, then everybody can be happy, because everybody will have a decent job. Everybody will have a decent way of living,
yes,
a decent house. Because if you see Sint Maarten in the past, right? In the past, you had a lot of people was coming over here to look for a better life. But what will they encounter? They will encounter a worse life maybe than what they had.
Yes.
Because they was living in shacks, in the hills, and all of that. And these are the things that we have to avoid for the future.
Of course,
we have to avoid them.
Of course. And I do believe, Wendell, when I speak about those very delicate topics about a good border control, to get hold on the influx of undocumented illegals,
yes,
that has nothing to do with if I'm for or against illegals. No.
Of undocumented. Don't call them illegals. Undocumented people.
Yes,
because nobody is illegal on this
earth.
But
you're right. You're right.
All of us.
You're right. So they are undocumented. And I do believe that if we want to keep a sound, balanced society, that everybody has a job, an income, has a health care insurance.
Yes, important.
That is going to make it that everybody has a little peace of mind, and then you're going to get, as a second effect on that we're going to get more rest in the society, and that is where we have to work towards. And now you see, for example, there is a great disbalance between the insured persons on the island compared to the huge group of uninsured. But at the end of the day, if they get sick, they get themselves in an accident, we will take care of them, but it's going to have a great pressure on our budget of Sint Maarten's yearly budget. So at a certain moment, we will have to organize it in a way that we can have a great border control, with a great control who comes in and who gets out. And it's not because we want to be the bad guy. No, it's because we want to organize it to make it a better place for all of us. Wendell, people always say Sint Maarten is a great place. I do believe Sint Maarten is a nice place, but I want, as a politician, to call Sint Maarten a great place at the moment that it's great for everyone that lives here. As long as it's not great for everyone that lives here, I'm very careful to use the word great, because I think I have a task with the URSM to make it great for everybody, and that means that we have to share the wealth, and we have to have a more respectable socio-economic balance in our community, that everybody feels okay, that everybody feels that they have the right to education, the right to a decent living, the right for a nice house. And these are the things that are lacking now, that are making the people restless, that we are now in the status that we are now in our mindset with this country. But anyway, Wendell, we are talking a lot about our enthusiasm and our love for this country.
Yes.
Time is running on us, so we will have to take a small break, and we will be back in a few minutes. Dear people of Sint Maarten, welcome to the second half of our radio program, You Are Sint Maarten. As you know, we have here today with us Mr. Wendell Thode. In the first half of our program, Mr. Thode introduced himself, and as we all know, he is from the Justice Department. Actually, he has been in the police force. He has been, of course, active in the detective department. He has been involved in the helicopter project, and lately he has always been involved with the Coast Guard. So it's an all-around man. And what piqued my attention was that I realized that Mr. Wendell is now in a phase of his life that he realizes that his love for his country, Sint Maarten, is so big that I even have the impression that Mr. Wendell now is exploring the option and possibility to step up the plate and see if he can join the political arena of Sint Maarten. And hence, actually, the reason, seeing and realizing his passion for his country, I decided to invite Mr. Wendell today with us, not only to speak about this justice background that he has, but also because I realize that he's a man that is always aware of the social developments of his country, about all the economic developments of his country, and all the challenges, especially now, that the country is encountering. And for that reason, Mr. Wendell, welcome once more to our second half. I say, Wendell, you know what? Let's talk a little about the challenges of the community of Sint Maarten. Let's start with challenges in the justice sector. What do you think are improvements for the nearby future for the justice sector of country Sint Maarten?
For country Sint Maarten and the justice sector, I think there's a lot of improvement that has to be done. First of all, if I just take the part where I'm in, we are encounter the criminality is rising, but the people to fight the crimes is staying at the same level. So we need more personnel. We need more qualified personnel to enter in the arena to fight crime. So then again, to get qualified persons in the police sector or in the justice department, it takes time. Mm-hmm. So we have to start from yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
To train the people and to get them there so they can improve themselves with time and be good in their job. So I think, first of all, for the Justice Department, the improvement has to be in getting more personnel to help fighting crime, because crime is continue to grow, and it's to get the people, we have to get a budget, we have to have money to pay the people and all of that. But the crime, they don't think about budget, they don't think about nothing. It will just grow.
Yes.
The money will come from itself. So
of course.
That's the difference.
Yes, I agree with you. Wendell, in the justice sector, we have a lot of challenges still, and especially things that has to be corrected and organized to help our young country.
Yes.
For example, our police station, I think it needs improvement. The police force as such needs better material to work with. Yes. The personnel has to be bigger. The more people has to work with us in our country, Sint Maarten, to protect us.
Yes.
On the other side, for example, the prison, I do believe it's not only the prisoners, our prison guards. Wendell, I have great respect for these people if you see under which circumstances these people are executing their task. It's incredible, and you have to have great respect for these people, the way they are day in, day out, under very poor circumstances trying to execute their job. Another is, for example, Wendell, I do believe, and we spoke already, we have to improve our border control. Yes, otherwise, we're going to continue increasing the import of poverty. That at the end of the day, it's going to kill the whole socio-economic status of the country.
Of the island, yes.
Yeah, of course, you have to. A other one that is a challenge nowadays, and not from the justice, is the uncontrolled increase of cost of living. Oh, tell me, Wendell.
I don't even want to enter that sector. It's incredible and unbelievable how the cost of living has risen. Sometimes when I sleep at night, and that's why I want to enter this arena also, to bring a change, to at least to you have to try. As they say in Dutch, niet geschoten is altijd mis.
Yes.
So we have to at least try to bring a change and to do something on that, because it's unbelievable how the cost of living has risen. It's and sometimes I hold my heart, no, because even the people who have a good salary at the end of the month is suffering. Can you believe now the small man who lives on a minimum wage?
Incredible.
How is he surviving? How? I think that he don't eat every day. I doubt that he have money to eat every day.
Wendell, I see patients in my office in the hospital that can tell me the truth because there are no neighbors there are no listening ears. They can be themselves in my office with the confidentiality of my profession. But if I tell you how much poverty there is in this country, you're going to start crying. That is also one of the reasons, by the way, Wendell, that we started this URSM, because a high priority for the URSM is the combating of poverty. You know, Wendell, we're talking about increase of prices of food, for example. I did a research on the increase of food price. And I went from 2000 to 2016. It's in 16 years. Yes. I wanted to compare to see how did that curve develop for different parts of the world. Yes. You take, for example, in Europe from 2000 to 2016, the food price averagely only increased with 9%.
Yes.
In 16 years. In the USA, it increased from 2000 to 2016 with 12%, the food price. Yes. In Sint Maarten, you know what? The increase of the food price was from the year 2000 to 2016, 53%. Can you imagine that in Europe, in those 16 years from 2000 to 2016, it was 9%. Mm-hmm. In the USA, it was in those 16 years an increase of food price of 12% average. Mm-hmm. And for Sint Maarten, it became from 2000 to 2016 an increase of the food price average of 53%.
Now, Doc, I have a question. The question is there any control going on from the government side concerning the prices? Because I don't have nothing against the merchants, against the business owners, but I mean, that there has to be a control somewhere, because otherwise you will be killing the people. I mean,
yes.
How can you survive like that?
I see that also as Wendell,
and then the problem is you will get one group that's going to be stinking rich,
yeah,
and the other group
getting poorer and poorer.
Getting poorer and poorer. So you're going to be milking out the other group. So yes, something has to be done.
Something, of course. And Wendell, let me tell you, of course, this increase in food price has to do with a very small market, that it's very difficult to get the goods as such imported on the island. So, so you have a few organizations that has a good control of it, and I do believe that we will have to open up that market more, because with concurrence you're going to oblige each other to lower your price. But if you keep the import in the hands of a few people, an organization or companies, it's going to make that we will have to dance the music that they want us to dance. And I do believe if I want to do something for the poverty of this country, I will have to open that market and leave people have more space to be part of the import of food and goods for the country. And that way, with the economy, it's going to play itself out that they oblige to lower the price. That is a way to do it.
That's a way to do it, yes.
Secondly, I do believe, for example, also, I do believe the Inspectorate of TIAT is doing their job, but I do believe that they are in shortage of people. And on the other hand, and that is in many sectors in government like that, if the leaders don't lead by example, they are going to get demotivated, and then they're going to, at the end of the day, say, if I do my research and my rapportage or not, at the end of the day, nothing is
Nothing's
happening for the poor man, and then they get demotivated. And I do believe that I have to speak up for that we should lead by example, and that is happening and demoralizing this community now, that those that are put in chairs to lead are not leading by example. I do believe that. That is how it works. It's very painful to say, but that is what is going on in this country now. And I think if the URSM gets this opportunity, we will try, at least do our best to try to get back the right morale back by the civil servants that are executing, I do believe, with great honor their job. But if they every time again are going to be bypassed because of personal and political agendas, at a certain moment you're going to demotivate a sector that has to control. And you cannot could be disappointed that they do that. No, it's human people. They're humans. They at a certain moment they get exhausted and demotivated too if they see that all their effort leads to nothing. That is what I think. But okay, yes, tell me, Wendell.
Doc, what you're saying there is hitting the nail on the head again. I want to state something, but I have been talking to a couple of people because I'm a lot on the street, and I talk to the public a lot. A lot of people know me, and a lot of people come to me and they tell me their grievances, they tell me their shortcomings, they tell me things that bothers them. And to be honest with you, Doc, some time ago, I was talking to a couple of people, and they were telling me, I'm a worker for the government, and just like you're saying, the same thing as you're saying, they were saying, listen, I'm checking and doing this and doing that, but when you make your report and you send it in, nothing will happen.
Yes.
So why do I have to waste my time?
Yes. And that is the demotivation.
That's the demotivation. Yes.
Yes.
And that something has to be done on that.
Of course. And if we don't change it now, because now we are sliding very fast from the hill with this country, Wendell. That's why I'm praying for the elections to come as soon as possible, for new people with new morals and principles, for them to take over this country for once, to try to give it a change of direction. Otherwise, we're going to lose our country.
Yes.
Wendell, you're speaking about several challenges in our community. Another challenge is education.
Yes.
Painful, Wendell.
Painful.
I'm telling you. And I will tell you why. Wendell, I speak every time again, I tell you that 42% of our people in our country do not have a secondary school education. Can you imagine that?
No, that's...
One of each two persons do not have a secondary finished school education. And the URSM do believe in education. And I will tell you why, Wendell. As I told you in the beginning, in our introduction of our program, education is the first pillar for economic growth of a country. If you do not have an educated, well-educated labor force, you are going to be doomed to fail with the development of your country. Believe me, it's going to be a failure on social level, on economic level. It's going to be horrible.
That's one of the very important pillars in the economic society.
Exactly.
Yes.
And education does something great also. It's the basis for economic growth. People think that it's tourism. Of course, it's tourism for Sint Maarten, but there is one before tourism, and that's why we are not having a significant growth on this tourism sector, because now the labor force is not educated enough to continue pushing the pillar of tourism. While you see now in the vicinity, in the region, all of a sudden you see enormous growth and possibilities for tourism on all the islands. An example is, for example, Sint Maarten. Look at Sint Maarten, how Sint Maarten used to be. People used to, they used to, in the past, people, Sint Maarten used to beg somebody to come to them.
Yes.
Now they land here with a private jet and they're gone. We lose them. Why? Because our labor force is not educated enough, even in the tourism sector, to help push this country forward. And thirdly, education does something great with humankind. It improves your good living condition. and it creates opportunity for your further development.
In the future, yes.
That. It's very, very, very evident that we have to work on education.
Something that I always, my children, I always stressed on the education. Because I always had that thinking that education is something that you must have. You must have it. If you want to improve in life, you must have it. So it's sometimes, people will say, I know this and that people, this and that person, and they don't have a secondary education, but they're millionaires. But it's 1 in a million.
Yeah.
It's 1 in a million.
All the circumstances have changed too compared to the past. Those
Yes.
great heroic stories of people that are, as they call them, self-made men.
Yes.
That time is over, because now if you do not have a education background to back you up, it's going to be very difficult as an individual to make it happen in life.
And also there is a lot of examples of you might made it till there, but if you don't have an education to back it up, you won't stay there.
Yes.
You will made it till there, and in a jiffy you will lose everything.
You want me? And that's a great thing you're talking about, Wendell. Let me tell you. And you know what that is, Wendell? I thought about that too. We do believe that educating citizens of a country is offering them technical education, difficult possibilities to learn a profession. I do believe there is a more important one than that, and that's the home education. And I'm telling you, Wendell, you can give a person a technical education, a high school education, a university education, but if these persons do not have a great home education, they are going to fail in their career. And that is what you see now in Sint Maarten, and I dare to say it today. You see a lot of people with an education, with a paper to prove that they had an education, but due to the fact that they didn't enjoy a great home education, they still do not carry the right morals, principles, and examples to show the world the way a educated technical person should behave and work in a society. That is what I think.
Yes.
You agree with me?
I agree with you 100%.
And that is, if you see, for example, politicians nowadays, what they dare to do, and people are looking at them and say, guys, you really think? You want me to give an example, Wendell? We had last week this Sint Maarten Carnaval Developing Foundation that was on the floor of Parliament. It's a foundation. A foundation states a foundation with its own articles and bylaws. That's a foundation. Now parliamentarians want to put a foundation on bid. Can you imagine that you're going to take a person's a stichting, a foundation? You say, I think there is some money in this foundation. Let me go to Parliament, put it on the floor of Parliament, see if we can offer the government to sensitize them to put Carnival Foundation on bid. That is a sign, Wendell, that we do not have a clue
what we're busy with.
what we are doing in this country. And I was looking and listening to this development around this Sint Maarten Carnival Development Foundation, that they want to put a foundation on bid because a few parliamentarians are feeling like there is some success and some hidden money making in this foundation, and then all of a sudden this has to be going on bid. But Wendell, what is happening with these people?
Yeah.
And that is, but they're educated, huh? They're educated. But still, you see, they fail because they do not have the background. Home education. And Sint Maarten in general is failing now also in its home education. You see the youth is hanging around after school. The parents have their economic challenges, so they have to work many hours. There is no attention for the children. There is no after-school activity to offer the youth of Sint Maarten. And at a certain moment, these guys are sitting under the tree on the blocks, as we say, and we're going to lose them.
Yeah, we will lose them, and then they will end up doing wrong things, and they go the wrong way.
Of course. So when we spoke about the justice as a challenge for the country, We spoke about the increase of the prices, the goods, the food of the country. Another challenge that we spoke about is education, as we just did. Another for me is, for example, also the healthcare. That's a typical other challenge for the country. Then if we do not wake up, shake up, and pull up our socks, Wendell, we are going to lose this country. And that's why we hope that we will get the opportunity and chance in the next upcoming elections for us to bring the change.
Bring the change, yes, Doc. I agree with you. A change has to come. And like I know you are there to bring the change. I am willing to help bring in the change. So together, we're going to be a force that can do something for the country that we love.
Of course. And Wendell, we are going to commit. We are going to stay the persons that we are. We are going to focus on the issues of the country. And we are going to take courageous decisions now to try to make it happen for the nearby future of this country.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, sometimes in life, Doc, you have to take decisions. Taking decisions is not easy.
No.
Most of the time, taking decisions will have consequences with the decisions. It's going to be positive or negative consequences, but there are always consequences with the decision that you take in life.
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to take decisions for a country, it's going to be bigger because you're taking decisions for a lot of people.
It's a big task.
It's a big task. So it's a big responsibility because the decision that you are taking have a consequence on a lot of people, a big mass of people.
Of course.
And they depending on you. So you have to do the right thing.
Yeah. And you know, Wendell, I thought long about that because I'm so actively busy with the nearby future of this country after elections that I pray to God for the people's mind to open, and if they give the URSM the mandate, Wendell, we're going to turn this country upside down. And I will tell you why. Because we have been in a phase, timeline now of no decision making one report after the other one, hiring one consultancy after the other one more report, while we know already what the problems of this country are. So I do believe the next government, which I hope I will be a significant part of, we hope that the URSM will take decisions. And of course, you will take from 10 decisions, hopefully 8 will work out, and sometimes it will not, but we will have to take decisions. And I will explain to people that I will sometimes dare to take big decisions for the country. And sometimes you are a winner and sometimes you're a loser, but at least you are taking decisions with a good intention to move forward your country.
But you know, Doc, you have to take decisions. And when you take decisions and you explain to the people what decisions, because communication is something, that will break all the barriers.
Yes.
If you take decision, if it is a decision that worked out, or if it is a decision that didn't work out, but at least if you communicate with the people and explain to them what decision you took, why you take it, they will understand.
Of course.
Even if it's flashback.
Yeah.
They will understand, because then you will communicate with them again and explain to them, listen, I took the decision. It was well intended, but it didn't work out. Because nothing in life is 100%, Doc. Nothing in life.
That's true.
So you cannot do nothing in life that be assured that it is 100%.
Yes.
Nothing.
Wendell, time is flying on us. Unfortunately, it was an interesting program with you as an invitee with us in this program. I want to thank you also for the time that you took out to be with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of our program. I'm looking forward, and the URSM is looking forward to have you back next week, Wednesday, from 6 to 7 p.m. on Radio Mix 94.7. Have a great night.